Welcome back to season dose of Quick Chat in the Cadillac. My name is SG. I like to explore the simplicity of complexity. If you don't know, this is my show where I break it down for you both real and quick. And since it is season numero dos, here's what I need you to do. Head over to my YouTube channel, SG space Bubba space K, where you will find the entire Quick Chat in the Cadillac series, season 1 and season 2. And you can watch all the episodes in order because they'll get your life right. So I encourage you to go ahead and do that now. But today I have a very special topic for you, my friend, and today's very special topic is going to involve one of them 7 deadly sins, aka the glutton. Now, what is a glutton? What is a glutton? I'll tell you what a glutton is. A glutton is something or someone or an energy that is obsessed with consumption. They consume to the point where they cannot consume anymore. And the glutton can consume anything. Typically, they say eating. Like overeating is typically what they mean when they say gluttons. But that's not the only thing. You could be a glutton for energy. You could be a glutton for love. You could be a glutton for pain. You could be a glutton for fucking, I don't know, money. Whatever the case. Gluttony is over-consuming. Being obsessed with consuming. And here's a phrase that I've been liking. I like to say it pretty consistently, honestly, for about the past year. Eventually, the glutton will eat themselves to death. Now, you can see this firsthand. You know, if you ever want to experience it, just eat and eat and eat until you can't eat no more. And then continue to eat and eat and eat until you feel like you're about to die. And then continue to eat and eat and then you'll pass away. That's what a glutton eating themselves to death in a literal sense means. So here's how gluttons eat themselves to death. And I'm going to tell you this because it's true. You as an individual always have a limited access to the infinite resources that are provided to you. So let me rephrase that so you understand what I'm saying. You will always have a limited access to the amount of resources, which is infinite, that are provided to you. The reason is because you cannot have unlimited, unrestricted access to every resource that is infinitely present in the entire universe at any given time. You do not have that capability. Now, you can increase the limit. It's like a credit card. You can increase the limit, but you do have to pay that shit back. Those resources have to come back, and you don't have the time, the energy, or the resources to pay shit back that is infinite. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if you're accessing it all at once. You're putting yourself in a big fucking debt, and the only person who's going to be able to pay it off is you. Essentially, you're writing a bajillion-dollar check that your ass can't cash, and you're giving it to the mob. And the mob saying, why ain't this check cashing? We about to put some shooters on your head. And you're saying, well, I'll have it eventually. That's essentially what you're doing. So the glutton does not understand this principle. The glutton will continuously pull and pull and pull and pull and pull. Consume, consume, consume. And they do not return the energy that they are requesting, that they are pulling, that they are required. And here's the problem with the glutton. They don't give a shit. They want to consume more and more because in their minds, this is how things go. I've already consumed this much. I could consume more. I could just keep consuming more. And when I don't have any left over, I can borrow it from other people. You're racking up a ridiculous amount of debt. Okay, debt doesn't just exist with money. Debt exists with energy. Debt exists with effort, resources. All those different things build debt. Okay, it's not kept track of in Bank of America. I'll tell you that shit. But it's still there. All right, your debt is something that you don't just run away from. When they say everybody has debt, yeah, everybody got fucking debt. You got to pay that shit off. But it don't have to be in just a financial sense. We get so wrapped up in materialistic things that we forget to understand you could have energetic debt. If you're running around, you're not feeding your fucking self. If you're running around doing a million things, a million push-ups every goddamn day and you don't eat shit, you are in an energy deficit. You have debt energetically. And now you got to replenish with resources or else your body's going to shut the fuck down. See? Simple and plain way for me to explain that to you. Very simple, very plain, easy to understand. But this shit goes deep. Okay, so here's the problem with the glutton, right? We already established that they don't realize. Maybe they do realize what they're doing, but they don't realize that it can't go on forever. The glutton eats themselves. They'll eat themselves to death because eventually they'll starve. All right. There's no one place, not one single place, person, or energy in this entire world that will continue to give infinitely. You understand? There's not one. Not a single place, because at some point you have to show even the slightest crumb. That's why even breadcrumbing exists. Okay, you think about like a narcissist, right? Think about a narcissist. One of the tactics they use is breadcrumbing. I'm gonna give you a little bit here, a little bit there, just enough to keep you by. But that is required. If a narcissist could do less, they would, but they can't, because universally, it would be impossible for you to continue to take and get in return. So gluttons are always jumping to new sources. They're always looking for new sources to pull from, because eventually people, energies, places, things realize that all this person is taking resources. Eventually, the glutton will lose more and more potential places to draw resources from until they have nothing. In this entire time that they've been spending building up a metabolism for a vast amount of resources. Think about it. Their body, their soul, their spirit, their energy is used to all these resources that they're pulling from all these different places, and eventually they just get cut off. They got nowhere else to go, nowhere else to look. And at that point, their body begins to shut down. It's such a drastic difference. It's a ridiculously drastic difference between pulling and taking from everyone and everything, and eating in excess, consuming in excess, taking in excess, and all of a sudden nothing. You will go into shock. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, the glutton will eat themselves to death, because there will be no more resources. They won't have access to it. It's very simple. We could take it back to the days where they used to trade. Let's say there's 5 farmers. All the farmers have an agreement. They each have a different crop type, and each day they bring each other one of their crops so they can all share and have diversity. And then one farmer decides, fuck that, I'm not bringing none of my crop. And each day, for many, many months, all the other farmers keep their end of the bargain, just bring in their crops, and the other farmer doesn't bring shit. He just eats whatever they bring them. Eventually, one farmer stops. Now he has less. 2 farmers stops. Now he has less. 3 farmers stop. 4 stop. And this entire time, that farmer's crop has died. He's not getting them out. He's just keeping it for himself. He's just sitting there eating and eating. And, maybe it's a freeze or something. If something happens and his crop doesn't survive, it gets a little hectic for him. His crop doesn't survive. He can't go to none of the farmers. They all say, hey, you took advantage of us. You took advantage of us time after time. And even though we still showed up for you, you took advantage of us. He knows he can't go back to them, but he don't have no food. So that farmer starves. That farmer dies. That farmer starts doing drastic shit like trying to steal from the other farmers, gets popped on the property line. You see what I'm saying? So the glutton will eat themselves to death because they're short-sighted. They're fucking dumb. Pretty much easy way to put it. If you don't provide anything, if you're not giving anything, realistically, of course, everyone could give a little bit now and then, breadcrumbing and shit like that. That's why narcissists do it. But if you don't provide nothing at all, you're going to be cut off from all sources of energy. Because, remember, energy can't be created or destroyed. If something happens, someone's giving you their energy, their time, their resources, their money, whatever the case, and you're not returning anything at all, that source is going to stop, because essentially they're sending out energy to die. You're not doing nothing with it but eating it up and shitting it out. That's it. So how do you deal with a glutton? It's up to you. You could step out of the loop sooner rather than later. You could be like one of the farmers who leaves early on. You can hold on and watch them eat themselves to death. Or you could just tell them, hey, you're being a fucking glutton right now, and you're on a slow path to destruction. Now, some people will listen to you, some people won't. It depends on your relationship and depends on the encounter and the way that it's, communicated to them. But that ain't really your business. So if you're a glutton, you probably should listen. You don't have to, but you'll end up dead. Spiritually, physically, mentally, or maybe a combination of all 3. Financially, shit too. But if you're not a glutton and you encounter a glutton, you don't have to worry about it. There is justice in this world. People can't just take and take and take and expect nothing in return. They will pay. It's just a matter of when and how. But they're going to pay. That's how it works. All right. That's all I got to say for you today. Peace.